And I'm Rachel Tiemeyer.
And we are Teen Thriving Home. And today we are making prep session 15. I'm super excited about this one. It has one of my kids' favorite meals, pizza bread. We'll talk about that in a minute. But
yeah, so here's what you're going to be making today. And it's really quite the variety. I mean, you've got like a baked casserole, a form of pizza, a marinated meat. We're going to start with Hawaiian pork tenderloin. This marinade is on point. You can grill it, you can roast it in the oven, and we even have a fresh pineapple salsa that you can make. It's easy, it takes a little extra time, but it's worth it. The second one is baked cheesy tortellini. This is an old recipe I used to make for my kids when they were little. It's just like easy. You can pull it out of the freezer, pop it in the oven. It's
super
great.
easy.
And we add some pepperoni to it and a little sneaky spinach to get some veggie in there as well. And the last one is pizza bread, which Polly mentioned. And what's so great about this is once you learn how to do this, I think you'll make it a lot on busy nights. All right, we ready to get, one more thing.
Yes.
What are we gonna tell them?
Our reminder, we say every prep session, get all of your stuff out. Get your ingredients out, your meat cut open, your equipment ready. That way it for sure stays an hour or under, and it just makes things go a lot more smoothly. So let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's get started. Step one, we're going to prep our freezer bags. This is typically one of our first steps in every prep session. You want your bags waiting for you. So Polly has already cut out the freezer labels that are in your packet. And we're going to put 2 labels, we'll start with our pork tenderloin labels on 2 bags. And you want to open your bags. And then we have these handy dandy, they're really cheap, freezer bag holders. And if you're asking, is that really worth it? We think they are. I mean, it's only like $7.
They're super cheap.
For several of them. They're cheap and they're very handy for prep sessions.
Yep.
It's like an extra set of hands. So your Hawaiian pork tenderloin, she's sticking in the bag.
Yep. That's going to be a marinade. And then we have the casserole dishes that we are over here. Now we have these casserole dishes with these lids. We now recommend different ones.
Yeah.
So
we'll link to the ones. These are, sadly, these went, what did they discontinued them?
Who knows why? They said it was we reached out to them.
We did. We talked to the company.
We want our casserole dishes.
Yeah. We're like, where are these going? So they said discontinued by business decision. Okay, so we tape those on our lids.
Yes.
If you don't have lids, tape it on some foil and cover your pans with foil. Now, you have 4 bags left. Here's why. You're going to have 2 bags for each pizza bread meal. We just couldn't fit all the pizza breads into 1 bag. So you should have 4 remaining free pizza bread labels. Tape those onto your last 4 bags. Open those bags, have them waiting for you when we get to that step.
All right. Okay. I'll finish up this and then pause if you need to and meet us back here for step 2. We're on step 2 and we are going to prep all of our produce for the whole prep session. This saves a lot of time to do this all at once rather than recipe by recipe. So as you can see, Rachel got a good start on chopping the spinach. So you're gonna have 2 cups of spinach, 4 cups of spinach, and you're gonna finely chop it because this is gonna go in the tortellini casserole. And I think you just want smaller pieces of spinach. Yeah. It's more, I mean, it'll taste the same if it's a little bigger, but my kids are a little thrown off by a lot of big pieces of spinach. So take your time, chop that up, pause this if you need to get all that done because, like I said, we got a head start on that. So finishing up that, you can see how finely this is chopped.
And to do this, keep the knife tip down, and I kind of bunch up the spinach and hold it kind of bunched up, and then just carefully, watch your fingers, move along slowly to get that pretty well chopped. So after I kind of what's called julienne it, that means like just slice through it, then I go back through and I put my hand on top of my knife and kind of work back through it to even get it more finely minced, like that. So that's just a knife tip there. Okay.
All right. Part 2 of step 2 is to thinly slice the green onions, both green and white parts, until you have about a 4th cup. So
get rid of the tops of these.
Yeah, sometimes the tops of green onions are kind of just like worn and torn from their travels.
Yeah.
So about a 4th cup, which that probably will be.
It's pretty close. I'm getting close.
Yeah.
This is gonna go in the pork marinade, so you just want to get that ready for you.
Yep.
Move those off.
Okay, we're gonna peel and grate 1 tablespoon of fresh ginger. So in prep session 16, we did a pretty good tutorial of how to peel the outside of a piece of ginger.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's like a knob. I mean, they're gnarly. Like they come in these big knobs, but really all you need is about that much. So I peeled the outside of the root off with a paring knife already of this one. And then you need to microplane or a grater, these microplanes are great. We did talk about that in prep session 16. But you just sit here and grate it. It kind of does.
And if you don't have one of those, like Rachel said, just a typical shredder. I don't know, what do we call those?
Well, just like a metal
grater.
grater.
One that you would use for cheese. You can
Box
use like
grater.
usually they have two different sides. Like one is a finer side, one's kind of a bigger side. So just get it as small as you can for that. So smells good.
What, a
You
tablespoon?
do about a
of that?
tablespoon of that, yes.
So this is going in your pork marinade as well. So far we got green onions and fresh ginger for that. It's gonna taste really good. It's Hawaiian. It's got some Hawaiian flavors, like it's got brown sugar and soy sauce and pineapple juice.
And then after this, we say peel and mince garlic. If you've been around long, you know very quickly, we just always use pre-minced garlic. We don't think there's any compromise in the flavor, and it's so much easier just to scoop it out than to chop it up. But if you got fresh garlic, power to you. Use it.
And we've gone through, there's kind of a method to really mincing a garlic clove too, and we've gone through that in multiple prep sessions as well.
Shell off it.
Yeah. All right, so a tablespoon of fresh ginger. Man, fresh ginger, totally worth it. But if you can't find it or you don't want to mess with it, the store has like ginger paste now. You can just go ahead and buy that and store it in the fridge.
Yeah, it's pretty
easy.
All right, we got our garlic. Check.
Okay.
And then we are going to, this is optional, but we both like this in the casserole, is some chopped up pepperoni. It just adds a lot of flavor to it. So now would be the time to do that, just so you don't have to backtrack and get back to chopping.
I was going to tell you guys about this brand of pepperoni I love. So when you look at the ingredient list on most pepperoni, it's kind of gross. Like there's a lot of, preservatives and additives, but the Applegate uncured pepperoni, if you can find that, is wonderful. And I'm actually using turkey pepperoni, which, believe it or not, you would never know that it's turkey.
I use that in my kids' lunches a lot. I get I'll use that and some cheese and crackers and call it a Lunchable. So
I just did that
snack.
today actually in Ben's bento box.
It's a good snack for sure.
It is. So the pepperoni and the spinach in this casserole that we're going to build, they get layered in with sauce and cheese. So not too bad.
Almost like pizza flavors. We have, even though we have the pizza bread already.
Yep.
But yeah, this is definitely optional though. Like in the kids, I found that my youngest kid, who is my pickiest kid, liked the tortellini without the pepperoni, just because they just are, drawn a little more towards less flavor. So it tasted a little more like a cheesy spaghetti to him, I think. But I definitely liked the pepperoni.
Now you could do other things too in your tortellini if you want. If you want to make this again sometime. You could try, browning up some Italian sausage and crumble that and use that in it. You could buy a different kind of tortellini. There's ones that are meat-filled or mushroom and cheese-filled. There's, the sky's the limit with that. So that's how you can kind of do that meal differently if you ever make it again. So maybe give that a try.
All right, so after that, we are going to chop up any produce that you want to use for the pizza bread. So this is going to come down to your preference and your family. If you guys want straight cheese, then you won't need to do anything now. We both like, and even some people in my family like some veggies on it. And so I like, bell peppers. I like mushrooms. So I might put some of those on mine.
Mushrooms, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I even have some in the fridge.
Could you do red onion?
Yes. Oh, red onion would be good.
Real thin slices though. It's not in the oven all that long.
Really, just go through the pizza recipes that are your favorite from your favorite store, and you can add them to your own. So now would be the time to chop up those.
Now I found that these little guys, these little mini bell peppers, are great for these pizza breads because it's not like you're working on the surface of a large pizza. So this is a good size for those. Once you're done slicing your peppers, you want to probably stick them in a little bowl to have on hand for when you're going to build your pizza breads. And then let's move on to the next step. For step 3, we're gonna prep and freeze our pork tenderloin marinade. So Polly's gonna start with, we've got like 1 1/4, 1 1/2 pound pork tenderloins. And using tongs might be the best way to get them in a bag without getting your hands messy and getting them all over the bag, ideally.
Yeah,
we talked about yesterday we were shooting prep sessions 13 and 14. Yeah. And we were talking about you can also use plastic gloves when you're picking up meat and then just toss the plastic gloves. All right, to start our marinade, Polly, do half of the sliced green onions right here.
All right.
So we sliced up these green onions. She's going to put half of them in each bag. So I think it's about 2 tablespoons in each bag.
Okay, done.
Okay. And now go to your freshly grated ginger and do half in each bag.
Just kind of eyeball it here.
Yeah, exactly.
Since it's
Don't
a
have to be
marinade,
perfect.
it's pretty forgiving.
Yep.
Okay. Next.
All right, next is either if you minced up garlic, you're going to do 1 minced garlic clove in each bag, or a half teaspoon of pre-minced garlic. We found that 1 garlic clove typically equals about a half teaspoon of the pre-minced garlic.
Done.
Great. All right, next up is your half cup of pineapple juice in each one.
Yes.
So our testing team told us that they had a hard time finding pineapple juice in the store just by itself. I think you can find it. I saw it at Walmart. But what we found was even cheaper and better, if you're not going to drink the rest of the pineapple juice, is to actually just get a 20-ounce can of pineapple chunks in juice, not in like a syrup. So that's what we did. So we squeezed out the juice. We got 1 cup. It's perfectly like 1 cup of juice. The pineapple chunks are in here to eat later.
Yeah.
And we'll do half cup of that in each bag.
You could probably eyeball this from the can if you want,
Yeah.
but we just wanted to make sure we explained
We've
it
learned
right.
over the years. We've had a few spills on camera. Okay, so we got our pineapple juice. Next up is soy sauce. So reduced sodium soy sauce, or you can do a gluten-free tamari soy sauce, which is actually, I think, less sodium in and of itself.
How much for you?
So you need a 4th cup in each one.
Ooh, this is the 3rd cup. Do you see a 4th one?
Oh, can
I'll
you
just go a little
eyeball?
try.
Yeah. So a 3rd cup is like 5.3333 tablespoons, okay? But a 4th cup is 4 tablespoons, so she can eyeball it. Next up, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, and this just adds like a little bit. Brown sugar has molasses in it, so it adds a little sweetness, but it also gives like that kind of rich, a little richer taste than just plain old table sugar to it. Okay. So you got brown sugar, and then 2 tablespoons of avocado oil. So you need just a little oil in a marinade. It helps the meat stay moist.
If you don't have avocado oil, you can use olive oil too.
Yep.
That'll work.
Absolutely.
It is smelling so good.
I know, so good. There's so many great, fresh, fragrant ingredients in this marinade. The last thing, we need a little heat. So some red pepper flakes. Let's just do a good pinch in each one.
Okay.
So the thing that we found with marinades that make them killer, a lot of times like this one in particular, is you've got acid. So you've got your pineapple juice is actually your acid in this, kind of a little citrusy taste to it. Yeah. So go ahead. We are. So with clean hands, your hands should be clean if you use tongs. You're going to squeeze out the air, seal it, and then squish it around to get that marinade all blended.
I'll let you squish that one.
Okay, and you can throw this directly in the freezer.
That's done.
I know, so easy. All right, join us for the next step.
All right, we're on step 4. We're going to assemble the baked cheesy tortellini casserole. So I'm going to kind of tell what Rachel to do here, and she's just going to follow my every command.
As usual.
You're going to grease 2 8x8 dishes. These are 2-quart dishes. We have links to the ones we like in the notes. And then you're going to start by spreading a half cup of marinara sauce at the bottom of that.
So half cup on each one.
Half
You won't
cup
come
into
back.
each
You won't
one.
repeat this particular step. This is just to really
Just
like,
gives it a good little base.
give it a little base.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's not. It helps it not stick too. Like I know we sprayed it, but it helps it not stick.
Right. Okay, then we are going to layer these ingredients in this particular order.
Okay. But
Start
first,
with
yeah,
frozen.
let's shake that out.
We're going to start with the frozen tortellini. Scoop that on there.
So we're doing 2 to 2.5 cups in
Yes.
each one.
2.5.
So basically, you want enough to like make an even layer. And I've noticed it's best if they don't stack on top of each other. So just get enough in there to like cover the bottom, basically. All right.
You're
That's
very
not too
precise
bad.
about
I
that.
am. I just sorry.
Like, wait, that one's out. That one. That's facing the wrong way. Okay, so then after this, we're going to sprinkle 1/4 of the chopped spinach in each of the casseroles. So basically, you're taking half of your spinach, you're going to split it in half.
Oh, right. So
Right,
we're
kind of
dividing
like eyeball it in
Is
half
there a food
and then split it in
mover
half.
clean?
It is right
It's okay
here.
if not. Actually, I'm just going to use
You
my
gonna bring it?
hands.
Okay.
Yeah. So, right, 1/4 of that chopped spinach. And I chopped a lot, so I'm
Yeah,
going to go
that
quite
looks-
as heavy.
It does look like a lot.
So just a good little sprinkle over each.
Okay.
All right.
And then if you have pepperoni, this is where you would add it in. So it adds a nice little layer of that as
Yeah.
well.
More flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Yum.
I'm telling you, it smells. It's gonna be a good pizza kind of.
I
It's
know,
got
you're
good
right.
cheese and
And
we
it's pretty.
should call it pizza casserole.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Too late now.
Too late.
Okay. So then you're going to top all of that with a cup of marinara sauce. Top spinach with a cup. Okay. I'm trying to think, is it 1 cup each?
Yes.
Okay, yes. 1 cup to each casserole dish.
Right. This
Everything
pasta,
everything's to each.
right, and this pasta really expands, so that's why you really want a lot of marinara sauce in here, or else it gets dry. So yes, 1 cup
of each there. After that, we're going to do a cup of mozzarella cheese on each of these.
Okay. I'm going to use my hands and just get a good, layer of mozzarella because my marinara
Just
sauce is in here.
Yeah. This recipe's pretty forgiving.
Yeah.
Our pizza casserole.
I like that name better.
I know.
But then it's like pizza bread.
Yeah,
pizza
I'm going to say,
casserole.
I can't have
Is it pizza pork tenderloin too? No.
a pizza meal prep plan. That's kind of fun. Pizza themed.
That's funny.
Look at this is how we brainstorm. We just start like.
We could dress up like Italian pizza makers. Pizza. Or not.
We could make like a cookie pizza as a
A
dessert.
cookie pizza?
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
Pizza muffins.
enough with the pizza.
Pizza.
Right?
Okay.
Okay, so then you're going to repeat those layers.
Repeat those. But
Yes.
remember, you don't start with the half cup of marinara sauce. You're
Right.
starting with
So,
the
tortellini.
Yes. So,
Tortellini once again.
again, you want just like a thin layer of that over all. Now I'm not being precise. Are you proud of me?
Wait, so they're not facing the same way.
No, I just didn't want them stacked
Yeah,
on
I know.
top of each other. That's
Yes.
what I was trying to avoid.
Okay.
So if you are gluten-free with this recipe, you would, let's see, what do I tell them to do? I think I say you need to pre-cook, like al dente, real al dente, like don't cook very long, some gluten-free pasta, and you could layer that. But although, actually,
this one can't really be dairy-free, right?
Actually,
Unless you do.
well, okay, hold on. Reverse. If you're doing gluten-free, I found Udi's, U-D-I, I think it's Udi's brand, makes gluten-free cheese tortellini. Use that. That would be better.
Oh.
Okay, what's next after the tortellini?
You do the
Spinach.
tortellini, spinach, pepperoni.
Okay.
More spinach. Yeah, we didn't use nearly all that spinach. did we?
So, tell them what we're gonna do with one of these casseroles.
I'm gonna walk this over to my neighbor's house, who's watching the puppies. If you
watched prep session, which prep session was it? 13 or 14, guys.
I think it was 14.
There is a funny moment.
We had a major dog interruption, and we're just gonna embrace it. We didn't erase it, you know.
I don't even know how to edit around
I
it.
know. I'm fostering 2 puppies right now, and they've been great. But I was seeing a moment off camera unfold where they were like really annoying my big dog. And I haven't seen my big dog be at all aggressive towards the puppies, but I was seeing he was getting really, it was gonna get bad. And so I was like,
They're like, wait, why are you filming with 4 dogs in the background? No, 2 dogs, 2 puppies, right? We're tempting fate.
Yes, we were. So I had to like intervene in a dog moment, and then I brought the puppies on camera. So you should just go watch session 14 for the fun of it and see the puppy moment. It's towards the end.
Yes.
Anyway, so I have a lovely neighbor who is puppy sitting right now, and I'm gonna take her some meals from this as a thank you, because we don't need Puppyville around here.
This one's a good one to take to somebody else. You could buy foil pans if you wanted to give it away. Be a good one to have in your freezer to give to somebody.
She's got young kids too, so I figured this would be a good one that kids might like. So.
Yep. Okay, I'm on the marinara. I did the spinach, the pepperoni. I'm on the marinara sauce, and then we end with
Mozzarella.
the mozzarella. Yeah. You might have a little leftover marinara, but that was pretty close.
I think I had a bigger jar than called for too.
Yeah.
So
it should be just about right.
Yep.
And we used up most of our tortellini. I probably could have squeezed the rest of that in there if I had really thought about it. Okay, and so we're going to top it with this.
It's like a lasagna kind of.
It is. It's a fake out lasagna.
Pizza lasagna. That's
Pizza
our name.
lasagna.
There you go. There's our new name.
Really?
We now have 3 names for this.
Yes.
Soon it'll be on our blog as pizza lasagna.
Totally. All right. So we're just going to pop the lid on these and
I'll take
stick it in the freezer. So we have 4 meals down. The last one to go is our pizza bread. Join us back for that one. We are on step 5. It's our last step. You're going to prep your pizza bread, and then we're going to go ahead and freeze it. So to start, you should have 2 baguettes, 14 ounce. These are big honking ones. In fact, I couldn't find the same size, and that's okay. So what Polly's going to do is first cut these. You're going to cut them in half lengthwise. So she's got her hand firmly on the top and using a sharp serrated knife.
So when we say serrated, there's usually a bread knife.
Yeah.
That it works
And so
best.
she's going to work all the way down evenly so the top and bottom are the same size, hopefully.
Sometimes the bakery will do this for you.
Oh, really?
I have
You can ask them?
You can ask them to cut it in half for you.
Yeah.
Let's do. There we go. Yeah, the spoon's making a lot of noise. Okay, so we got that
and then
one.
we'll do our other one.
Yep. Yeah, I have a lot of times when I get sourdough bread or something from the bakery, I'll have them cut it for me.
They'll cut it lengthwise.
Well, they'll cut it at bread, but they also cut it lengthwise, yeah.
Okay,
for
cool.
sure.
That's awesome.
I mean, it probably depends on the bakery and who's working.
So that you can use whatever kind of bread you like. In the past, I've gotten whole wheat. Like if you go to a bakery, they actually have it. I had a hard time finding that this time. Now I want you guys to cut these baguettes into thirds, okay? So in order to fit them in your freezer bag, you're going to have to cut each loaf into thirds.
I kind of just eyeballed it, just made a little mark to make sure I kind of got it.
It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just the idea is you're going to end up in your freezer bags. Remember, you have 4 freezer bags. You're going to fit 3 pizza breads into each one.
Okay.
So that's why we're doing this.
Then, ta-da!
There you go.
That's going to be.
And actually go ahead and open those up because we're going to start.
It's going to be your pizza crust.
We're actually going to work on one of these and show you one and let you finish up on your own.
And then,
Yep. So to build your pizza bread, Polly, you need to put a 4th cup of pizza sauce onto each piece. So a 4th cup of pizza sauce onto each.
So we measure it out precisely, or that's a half cup, but I'll just.
That's a 3rd cup, isn't it?
Maybe half.
We're so organized.
Froze.
Okay, yeah. So
I'm gonna grab a 4th.
And a 4th cup is 4 tablespoons. So probably 4 spoonfuls onto each of these would be fine.
Okay. This
So
is gonna get complicated here.
We typically personally make our own pizza sauce. We have a great recipe on Thriving Home. We'll link to it below. But I don't use the jarred stuff from the store ever. So we asked our Freezer Foodies private Facebook group. If you're not a part of it, we'd love for you to join. And so I asked him, I said, what's your favorite pizza sauce? And tons of people said this Rao's. Is that how you say it? RAO''S, Rao's pizza sauce. They were like, hands down, it's so great.
I love learning from people in that.
I do too.
And a lot of people are worried about this getting soggy, like this being soggy when it's done. It doesn't. It's when you cook it up, it ends up being fine. So I know that question's probably running through your mind. Like, is this going to be soggy bread?
Nope.
Okay, I'm spreading that out.
These actually are so cool too because you can either thaw them and then bake them, or you can bake them straight from frozen and not much more time.
Yep. Okay.
That's that kind of meal. Great. Great. Okay, so now a 3rd cup of shredded mozzarella cheese on each of these.
I'm going to eyeball this.
Yeah, you can eyeball it. I don't want you to run out of cheese, but yeah, about a 3rd cup. It's good.
Yep. Okay.
So we're going to use 2 kinds of cheeses to build these pizza breads. You know, to make them interesting, we need to do some different things, right? So we're going to do mozzarella, and then we're going to end with some shredded Parmesan.
All right. How's that look?
Not bad. So, you know, kind of spread it around because you don't want...
My husband would say, more cheese.
Well, this one I have noticed. I'm typically like that too, but I have noticed it can get a little cheese dense.
Yep.
So go shyer on the cheese, actually.
All right.
Next up is, I wanted to add some extra seasoning. So we're going to do a pinch of Italian seasoning. And Polly, you can literally you know, just put some in your palm.
I'm going to do it like this.
And then just pick up some and just sprinkle it over the top. Or do what Polly's doing. I find I have more control of my fingers.
Yeah,
but,
you probably do.
So when I first tested these, I was like, they need something, you know? And I thought, this is really fun. It's in your pantry. Italian seasoning adds some extra flavor to it. It tasted more like a pizzeria pizza to me after adding this.
I can vouch for these. My picky kids who were like, we like our normal pizza. They were really excited about these.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So do the same thing with garlic powder. Put some in your palm and just pick it up and pinch it and sprinkle it all over the tops of your pizza. Again, it just kind of adds that pizzeria flavor to me.
I mean, it's not just cheese on top of bread.
Yeah, it's not just cheese and... Yeah.
Okay.
So once you've done that, after this is the point in which you'll add your toppings. So we sliced up some mini bell peppers, you'll remember, but our kids like different things, right? So do some of your kids like cheese pizza only?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe leave 2 plain cheese.
That's
Let's
cheese.
do some that have pepperonis and peppers, maybe.
Yep.
And then
I'm gonna slice up some mushrooms too to put on mine
that's
because
great.
3 of our 5 family members like mushrooms.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna add those too. I can make this the Conner batch and like that the Tiemeyer batch.
It's
Does that
a
sound
great
good?
idea.
That way.
Do what you like. So, just add as many toppings as you like. We have these pepperonis, whole pepperonis you can add. I already mentioned this earlier, but we love those uncured turkey pepperonis from Applegate, if you can find them in the health food section.
Yum, yum, yum,
They are
yum,
so
yum,
good.
yum.
I
Okay,
mentioned those.
so let's say that's done. I might add more
Okay.
veggies later. We'll see.
And then I want you to top all of those with 1 to 2 tablespoons, so like a pinch of shredded Parmesan. And you'll sprinkle that over the top. Just make sure we're covered with cheesy goodness and flavor, right?
If you're making pizza bread, you can't go shy on the cheese.
No.
You're just embracing it.
You
for
do.
this time. Okay.
So
Here we go.
while Polly's finishing that up, here's the thing that we got the most questions from our testing team was packaging the pizza bread. So let me tell you a couple of options you have. One is you can do what's called flash freeze. So you can set these carefully on a cookie sheet and stick them in your freezer if you have a big freezer and you have lots of room. They get frozen solid. Think of like a frozen pizza you buy at the store. And then you could wrap them in plastic wrap at that point and stick them in your freezer bag. Or you could, I guess, tempt fate and carefully stick them in your freezer bag, maybe?
Yeah.
But what we're going to do is not do that. We're going to just wrap them up as is. We found this press and seal works really well. It's a little more expensive than your normal plastic wrap, but it's really great.
I just always have that on hand. It works so much better.
It is better than regular plastic wrap.
So much easier.
So just
to
set
work
your
with.
pizza bread in the middle of about a 12 by 12 inch piece. Wrap it like this. Pull up the corners.
Easy.
That's pretty easy, right?
Yep.
So guys, stick at least 3 in each of your freezer bags and meet us back here for the finale to see all of our meals done.
Congratulations!
You just made 6 meals in 1 hour.
Yep, your future self is going to be so glad you did this. So, as always, you can find more prep sessions like this at 1hourfreezerprep.com.
See you later.
Bye.